Hello, everybody.
Oh, he didn't hear that. Oh, hey, Carlos.
How you guys doing? Sorry that I'm late, but I'm on my way, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we haven't started the meeting officially, so all good.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'll be here.
Okay, you're good. All right, perfect. George, can I ask you to take meetings, minutes on that en misa y procesión? And I will hand you my laptop if it's easier.
All right.
I'm gonna give you the agenda I put together, and then you can just use that.
This is.
I'll give you like the Word doc if it's easier.
Well, you guys are like.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah, so you don't have to like retype it or anything. You don't want it. No, you sure?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay. All right, so we will call the meeting to order at 5:44 PM. And present, we have Carlos virtually, George, and Romy. And we have a visitor. Hi, welcome. Can you tell us your name?
Kimberly Trellis.
Kimberly, awesome. And are you part of an organization, business owner, or town resident?
Town resident, business owner,
Awesome.
and I'm on the Special Needs Advisory Board.
Fantastic. Okay, great. We're excited to have you. Did you have an agenda item that you wanted to bring up to the EDC, or did you just want to sit on our meeting?
I did want to bring up something. I don't know if it's done through public comment or
Yep.
if you want to add it.
Perfect.
To the agenda.
Yep,
Okay,
okay.
your name right is TRELLIS? Oh,
Like
okay.
this. That's our
Perfect,
business.
yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay, awesome. So before we jump into public comments, do we have any deferrals, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, we will move on to public comments, so take it away, my friend.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Kimberly Reyes. I am a small business owner here in the town. We have a very small shop called the Trellis Cottage. We've been in business for 9 years here in the town, but we finally opened our actual brick and mortar location.
Cool.
So actually used to be part of the Economic Development Committee years ago. I love everything that you guys do. I know this is a thing.
Yeah.
Specifically for the, I know this is a September 26th event, but
Yeah,
it's a
small
small
business,
business, boot camp, right? Okay, so this isn't specifically technically about the boot camp, but, I wanted to just plant the seed, see if there's any way we could collaborate, or maybe we can host the Economic Development Committee at our shop, at our
Oh.
location. We would love to host you, maybe do something specifically for town residents. So I'd like to plant that seed, but I also wanted to make sure that this year for 2025, we could introduce new businesses to the Miami Lakes collaboration, like the best of
Mhm.
collaboration votes that you guys do at the end of the year. Why I say that? I love the town. I love that we're promoting small businesses, but it's the same businesses every single year. The same, it's like when I go to vote, I'm like, it's the same 3 options. So now that there's a new gift shop, I would love to be added as the best shopping. One of the best shopping options for.
Cool. Okay, awesome.
And that's it.
Beautiful. Well, you picked a good topic because we're talking about Best of Miami Lakes today. And you'll hear why we have not had our chance to take part in that in a little bit, but we're getting it back. Okay, awesome. All right, so moving on to old business. Okay, so just to give you guys a recap of what's happened in the last 2 months. So we're still sticking with the date for the Small Business Boot Camp of Friday, September 26th. Jose Llano and I visited the famous Bank United Center auditorium that we have heard so much about. So I want to give you guys an update on that. And my recommendation as chair of the subcommittee the committee is we do not pursue the Bank United venue any further. I think we should stick to town hall. And because even though the venue is beautiful, there's a couple of restrictions. Number one, it's not, I was always picturing almost like a college auditorium space. While it is stadium seating, it's much smaller than a college auditorium. I believe if I remember correctly, they can only fit 60 seated participants. Not big enough for the crowd that we've gotten in the last couple of years, especially if we track for the marketing efforts that we want to do for this year, we need to be able to accommodate at least like 80. So that's number one, the space is limited. Even though it is beautiful, it looks like something out of Google, but it's limited seating. Number two, security is very high. I mean, we had to go through a whole thing just to get Jose and I through the door. So it would be very counterproductive to welcoming on-site registration. We would not be able to have on-site registration at the Bank United Center auditorium. And realistically, with the way that this event has worked, that's not gonna get us the turnout that we want. We'd be turning people away at the door. And we'd have to have registration be very, very tight, which I just don't think this event is mature enough to do that just yet. So for that reason, I would strongly encourage us to not look at the Bank United Center. Oh, and the other thing was, for whatever reason, which they weren't able to tell me, all the Fridays up until King were blocked. Even though they didn't have no idea why, but the Fridays were not available. So if we really wanted to use the space, we'd have to switch the date to a Wednesday. They would only make Wednesday or Friday available and all the Fridays were occupied. So we'd have to switch the date to Wednesday and we didn't want to do that either for purposes of event turnout. So with that, we're back to town hall or Anna G. Mendez. And I think I'd rather make town hall first than anything else. Thoughts? It worked in the past. It wasn't perfect. I think there's ways that we can think of making it a little bit more comfortable. Isle, maybe you can let us know if it's, I don't know how against code it would be if we actually used the where like the council people sit. to maybe have presenters there instead of at the opposite end of the room. We can work on logistics at another meeting, but you
I
like,
can ask him.
we can have a whole meeting dedicated to making that space work, but I think we should move forward under the presumption that we're gonna use town hall, just so we can kick off marketing efforts. George, Carlos, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to go, based on what you explained.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go.
Carlos?
I am okay with that.
Okay,
I am
perfect.
perfect with that.
I wanted to
I
mention,
want
sorry, I forgot. Go ahead.
just a quick thing in regarding the space. Maybe we face it the other way because the bigger TV is on the other wall.
Correct.
So
I
yes,
agree. I don't wanna waste a lot of time today about making that space work. I think I really wanna get to marketing and the speakers today, but yes, on the next meeting next month, I think we should really focus on figuring out how to make that space work. So yes, I agree with you, but is it okay if we talk about that next month?
sure.
Perfect. Okay, awesome.
In terms of space, I wanted to mention to you guys really quickly. Magali called me the other day and mentioned to me, why don't we do it at Roberto Alonso? I told her that that's not my call to make, and I don't think you guys have discussed it, at least not from my memory.
No,
But just to her point, because she asked me, I looked into availability, and just so you guys know, Friday, September 26th is available at Roberto Alonso Community Center, and I do have it on hold just because she mentioned it. So just wanted to give you that up.
okay, that's a good option. We had not considered that. My only hang up with the Roberto Alonso Hall is that it's so bare. It's very large. That would require a much larger commitment from us, you know, the committee and whoever the volunteers are and whatnot, to make that space decent. I hate to say it that way, you know, because I mean, it is an ample space. But for example, the local BNI chapter, we had a few meetings at Roberto Alonso, and we decided to leave that space because we didn't feel like it had a very professional environment. And I mean, this is a business event, so I think at least for this year, and then we can look at it into next year, I would prefer to go with town hall. What do you guys think?
Like town hall is our town center.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it shows well, it's
Right, it shows well, even if the seating may have to be arranged a little differently, I think it gives off a better presentation of the town. Carlos, do you know the Roberto Alonso Hall in the park?
No, I don't know about the place, but as you mentioned, we can go with the same thing.
Okay, so I think we move forward with town hall for now, but that was a good idea, Isle. I think for next year we can consider it if we have a little bit more manpower, a little bit more time to plan. And you know, and if we can make that work. If the plan for this year goes well and we exceed 80 participants, we're gonna have to look at a bigger venue space, because town hall won't hold more people than that for the following year.
for future reference. Which one, are they about the same size?
No, Roberto Alonso is
Oh,
really
okay.
big.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, think of like, the best way I can describe it is if you go into any high school cafeteria, it's like that, right? And it really looks like that because, I mean, not for nothing, but you know, it's like what's that floor?
It's
It's like that beige granito floor, the laminate floor, and you know, everything is very beige. Everything is very beige, you know, not. Yeah, and it has the, you know, like in the ballrooms, it has those accordion cutoff things to make it the size that you need.
That's probably what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is humongous. It is very, very large. And that's the other thing too, is that it's flat. So it would be rows on rows on rows of chairs, and then everybody looking in one direction, you know, at a screen. It's not the easiest space either if we get really big. So we'd have to get creative there too. Okay, so we'll talk about Roberto Alonso maybe for next year, but for now we're moving forward with town hall. Done. Awesome. Okay, so just a reminder, this was just more of a reminder, the timeline. Registration opens at 9. We do the welcome and intro at 9:45. Our first presentation will kick off at 10. So that I think should stay the same. Any changes? We're good? Okay. Now I want to talk about the Best of Miami Lakes collaboration. So you missed her public comment, but she wanted to encourage us to pick some fresh picks for Best of Miami Lakes, which I totally agree. So I wasn't able to be here at the last general EDC meeting. I don't know if you guys addressed that all, Best of Miami Lakes.
They touched upon it briefly. I sent everybody the categories link from last year for them to review, because they said they were gonna come back next regular meeting to discuss
The categories, okay, but basically, we're good on EDC owning the process and
Yeah.
the picks and
Yeah,
everything, okay,
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for you guys to give us the feedback on the
Cool.
categories.
okay,
And in terms of the timeline, I believe we're set. I shared it with all of you guys. That's kind of what we're gonna proceed with unless you guys, I mean, at this point, nobody has told me anything, so I think that that's what we're going forward with.
perfect, so. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a few years since I like paid attention to it, but Best of Miami Lakes, once the categories are set by the committee, then it's an open town nomination, right? For throwing in nominees.
Yeah, they can put in whatever business.
Right,
for-
so to answer your comment,
when-
the town,
When do people not do the nominees? Cause I have been a resident forever and I never get that notice like, hey, nominate. It's always, here are the nominees, you pick.
We don't, we
I've
would
never
not,
seen
we don't individually tell businesses here, it's out here. That's kind of up to the community and.
No, when do you tell the community to nominate someone? Cause I never see, I must miss that part. 'Cause
Yeah.
even before I had a floor.
I can't tell you right now, cause every year it kind of falls around the same timeline, but
Okay.
different days, so right now I wouldn't be able to pull up that information for you, I just know that they do announce it kind of the same way, the best thing, and this is just in general.
Mhm.
I just encourage people to, you know, if they wanna be involved with their stuff, to just follow our social media channels and subscribe to our newsletter, I really think our newsletter is the best.
But
Thank you.
does the economic development have their own social or?
No.
no,
The
it's all
It's
town,
all on the town.
it's
But
all
I'm
town.
telling you, I
Yeah.
never see one for nominate. Like,
I think,
even like I work with other businesses, like I work with the orthodontist, with Specialty Smiles. And it's like, they're never, they don't even know, they're like, we never know the best spa, like I spoke to Hydro Prime, they're like, we never see, it's like. Behind closed doors, it's like, we never see the.
I think that's a good point of
nominate.
observation, I think.
They
th-
only
th-
see the,
this-
hey, nominate this
So,
one, it's like,
yeah.
dude, it's the same.
So this
productions.
is the first time in a while that the EDC is in charge of it again, it wasn't,
Okay.
it didn't belong to the EDC for the last couple of years.
Okay.
So this is the first time that we'll get it back in a few years, so I think that's a good point, that we need to make sure that it gets properly marketed. So that, you know, that's the feedback that we'll take back for now. Making sure that, you know, it gets published to town socials at least more than one occasion. Maybe we even allocate some social dollars to
Okay.
marketing it within,
Yeah, I think
the
based
town.
on her observation,
Yeah.
that's probably what it's gonna take, cause we're
Mhm.
gonna market it the same way we've been marketing, so that's just a matter of maybe reaching further people that are maybe are now so in tune with, you know, our social. media
Exactly,
accounts.
yeah,
And I will mention to that, if it is the same business, cause I think I have seen them, that probably goes to show you though that those businesses are the ones that kind of like caught on to it.
Mhm.
And are the ones pushing their own customers, I
Yeah,
would
of
assume,
course.
to go on,
I'm
right.
like,
so it's gonna
hey,
take a lot of the businesses as
get a
well.
Correct.
free-
Yep.
yeah, nominate us, get a free sticker or whatever it may be,
Absolutely.
and you're just like.
you got it. Okay, cool. So with the Best of Miami Lakes collaboration, just a reminder that what we are doing with the Small Business Bootcamp is at the Small Business Bootcamp, we will be announcing the finalists. So the finalist announcement will be live at the Small Business Bootcamp. And obviously that, you know, that'll play into the timeline here with EDC about collecting nominations and collecting votes. So that we do that all in conjunction to have a list of finalists ready by that morning of Friday, September 26th to do the announcement, and that all nominees that are in the voting process get personal invitations to the Small Business Bootcamp so they can be there, okay?
Finalists will be announced at the meeting.
Correct, live.
Yeah, so we'll, for example, just so you know, cause we already have the timeline set up for this year. Wednesday, August 27th is when we're launching that first round. So really the month of August, we're gonna start promoting the contest that's coming up.
Okay.
But Wednesday, August 27th is the day we have set for launching that first round. So that's when anybody can put whatever business.
So that's open nominations, August
Correct,
27th.
and that will close Friday, September 19th. Which is a week before the.
Okay, so then the week between the 19th through the let's say the 25th, are people in that case voting? Or no, that's just, so basically every nominee is eventually
Is
a
already
finalist.
in by September 19th. No, the finalists come about from us.
From the collection of the
combining
nominees.
Yeah.
Got
like
it,
if Chella's
okay.
gets 20 and the
Got
other
it.
5, Chella's is the finalist.
Got it, okay.
Just out of curiosity, how many do you normally get? Like just. It could-
I don't,
Like,
like,
if
if
it's
you
like
wanna
20
send me an
or-
email, I'm
okay.
happy to, you know,
Okay.
pull that up for public records request. I don't have that readily available.
Okay.
Yeah, just the category for setup. That's what
Cool. Okay, anything else on old business? I think we're good. Okay, new business. All right, so I would really like today to finalize speakers and topics. This is so far what we have. We have not, due to scheduling delays, we have not actually gone to these people other than the first one on the list, which is Carlos. Carlos, you have to say yes. We haven't gone to these people yet and made them aware that they are on our short list of speakers. But so far what we have is our very own Carlos Padilla on a roadmap to opening up your own business. Alex Crespi, he is the co-founder and co-owner of Lakes Orthodontics. He's also a very active member of Miami Lakes BNI on working on your business versus working in your business. He's a very well-learned business entrepreneur. He owns multiple very successful businesses and is really big on business strategy. Melissa Alton, she's a local business litigation attorney, and we were hoping to have her come in and give us business legal basics 101. Things like, you know, things that business owners should do to make sure that they're establishing good contracts, good best practices, partnerships, etc. And then we were looking for possibly 2 more. We had discussed having a finance panel, and we had discussed an organization called Enterprise Florida that Magali made us aware of. I was hoping she would be here today to talk a little bit more on that. So the business panel, we talked about someone maybe that is good on bookkeeping, you know, again, just kind of business finance 101 and best practices that business owners should be aware of. And, you know, most small business owners, their books are a mess. So, you know, they go to do their taxes and it's very reactive, not proactive. So just things of that nature to keep, you know, their books straight.
like CPA or something, whatever.
Well, CPAs are challenging. Most CPAs, you know, I work with a lot of them. They're not the best presenters, so we don't want to make it boring. We want to make it engaging and also bring it down to a digestible level in 15 minutes. So that's why we were thinking of, you know, either someone that's maybe a bookkeeper or a QuickBooks expert or something like that. I know Jose Llano had also brought up someone that was great on business valuations. So that's someone else that we may want to tap. So basically, assuming all, you know, these first 3 people say yes, we've got 2 open slots available. I also had someone mention to me someone that was, I had someone else to bring to the table that is a operational efficiency coach. He's worked with a number of businesses in the town. He's related to a town resident, and he's come before as a visitor to our BNI chapter. So he's an operational coach, basically to streamline business transactions and, you know, how to help businesses become more efficient. And especially since we're working with small business owners, you know, they wear many hats. They're the administrator, they're the salesperson, they're the service, they do everything. So I think what we're looking for is at least 1 more, possibly 2 more speakers. If anyone has any ideas or connections.
Just so you guys know, I know you guys I know you requested Danny from building.
That was last year, yeah.
Oh, I had it on this year, but that's fine. He told me he wasn't gonna be able to, so I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
you guys knew.
Cool, okay, perfect. Yeah, go ahead, Carlos.
I just wanted to let you know that my background is accounting and bookkeeping and all of that. I can do that, but I think it will be too boring if I do 2 of them. So
That's
we
good
can
to know,
switch
Carlos.
between
Actually,
them.
Carlos, you just reminded me that there's a local town resident that's she's actually a realtor now, which is not a bad idea, but for like the first 20 years of her career, she was an enrolled agent. So let me reach out to her. Her name is Denise Signs. You know who she is. She's well connected. So let me reach out to Denise, and that actually might be a good one for the finance panel. But I'll put you in one of them, Carlos. Don't you worry.
The other thing, I think, you know, from what we did last year, I think the panel that you did with, I don't remember the
With
other
Suhail.
person's name. I think we should also add it too, because it was very important for people to know how to scale from 1, from 2, from 10 employees. So I think, and also the speaker that gave the angel investor, I think was very motivational.
I also agree. I think the kind of, the more motivational one at the end was great. I love Patrick. I would like to give an opportunity to somebody else. Does anyone have someone in mind in the town that's, someone that's made it, right? That's in air quotes, that could give an inspirational talk like that, going from small entrepreneur to, a bigger level. No, I can ask the Miami Lakes Encyclopedia, aka Tipo Gasamayor, if he has any recommendations.
Yeah, you probably know somebody.
Maybe it'd be good to look at the past speakers for the luncheon,
The chamber.
the chamber
I've
luncheon.
I've looked at some of them. Oh, you know what? Actually, now that you mentioned that, maybe Fred. Fred would be a really good one. Cause I mean,
They're
I don't know,
having
doesn't get much
tomorrow
bigger than
in Fred's
owning an auto
Studios.
mall.
Also, Ray.
Okay, we had Ray last year. I agree. I don't disagree with you, but we had Ray last year. I'm gonna put Ray, maybe Fred. También I want to have some new faces. Not because I don't love Ray and Fred, but they're always at everything. So maybe,
I agree. I agree.
right? Yeah. Ray, Fred. Maybe Alan, although he'd kill me. He hates public speaking, but Alan is really a small business dream come true. He's the owner of Motor Breeze. They're the guys that really head start the Cars for a Cure.
Okay.
And he started that business from nothing. The whole car brokerage situation, the car concierge, and he's completely blown up.
Who's he?
Alan Gonzalez
Oh.
as the motivational guy. And he's also the brother of the operational efficiency guy. So I will be seeing him tomorrow morning. I have a reminder to myself to talk to him. And
I have somebody else also that we are in a very exclusive cigar club. He's
Oh.
the chairman of the board of it.
Okay.
He's very good at speaking and everything, and he's always motivating to hear him. So can probably speak with him to see if
What
he's
business does
interested.
he have, Carlos? What's his business?
Real estate. He owns a lot of properties, and he comes from nothing.
Okay. What's his name?
I know he's Alex, but I don't know his last name.
Okay, well, no, let's throw it out there, and then next, the only thing is that I'd really like to come to a decision on it, as soon as possible, so that we can have, speakers approved.
First one, Ray. Who?
Let's.
Ray
What
Balastro,
about if we?
Ray
Should
Balastro,
we?
Fred Senra, Alan Gonzalez, and then this guy is Alex Agbo.
The real estate broker.
So should we do the following? You already know Ray and Freddie, right? I'm sorry, Ray and Fred. Yeah. Should I talk to Alex, see if he's interested, and then you kind of do like not an interview, but you talk to him and see if you like him.
Yes,
And then you see the
let's-
other people.
Let's do that. Okay, let's do that. If you'll ask him, number one, if he's available for the date. And then number two, if he'd be willing to have a quick phone conversation with me, and then, basically I'll just make the call on who it's gonna be and get it into marketing. Is that good?
100%.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. And then we just need to confirm the finance. I will have a talk with Denise probably by tonight or tomorrow, and I can confirm that one. Okay, so, based on us, confirming the speakers, not by next week, but the week after, I wanted to get, speaker headshots and titles done by the end of the following week, which is July 25th. Yep. And then have an approved marketing, flyer by the end of July, which I was hoping Matthew would be here today so we can confirm if, AC Graphics can do that. I'm pretty sure they can do it within a week turnaround. If we get the collateral back from the speakers, I think they can do it. Is anybody in-house doing like Canva flyers or whatever? Yes? Okay, perfect. Hey, you made it.
She
Thank you
just
for
summoned
coming.
you.
I just summoned you. So, okay, because last year I think it was Jonathan that put together the Canva flyer for the, and the program.
Yeah, but we have someone.
I can email it to you so you guys can see what we did. I have no problem if we wanna stick to the same format. It was really nice. So that can maybe just come to be our format. It was cool, and then it would just be plug and play, the speaker photos and the titles and the whatever, okay?
I can share with her in case she has any ideas, but, we can go from there.
Perfect, okay, so would that be sufficient, you think, if we get you speaker headshots and whatnot by the 25th, which I believe is a Friday, and then we have, you know, the marketing collateral, which would be the flyer, the Eventbrite page, and the agenda PDF ready by the following Friday? I think the
Yeah,
31st is a week,
that's fine.
yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so that's one less thing that ACD has to do, thank you, because I was already throwing Matthew under the bus. Okay, and then we would have all of August and September, and most of September, because the event is the 26th of September, for the marketing campaign. That would be almost a whole 2 months. Is that cool? Yeah,
I think so.
are you allowed to disclose at this meeting what we got approved in terms of budget? Remember, you had gone to council with like those extra $2,000, or were we gonna get them?
Well, that was for next fiscal year. This fiscal year.
But no,
it
but
was
this,
to keep
with
the
the local,
500 for marketing,
yes,
marketing.
okay,
Yeah.
and we got it approved?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
so we have that 2,000 for marketing. So we said we could use it, like the marketing dollars, you don't have to take it from your 2,000.
Cool.
We could take it from there, you get me? So
Okay.
you have your full 2,000 to play with just for the event. You get me?
Okay, excellent.
So yeah, so if we're gonna do the campaign, you can pretend, you don't have to worry about your 2,000 tapping into the August and September
Got it.
2-month campaign.
Okay, but can
So
we
you
take
got
from the 2,500?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, we can, because it's in the
Excellent.
marketing line item.
25 or
Okay.
2,000? 2,500?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It's either 2,000 or 20. I remember the total is like just underneath 5K. It's like
Oh.
12,500.
Look who's here.
Hey.
Yay. Okay,
Sorry.
perfect.
Anytime.
So we're gonna have
So-
$200 to $2,500 to play with for marketing for almost 2 months. I'll just housekeeping, who actually like spearheads that, like when we have money to buy social ads and whatnot, you guys handle that, or like we would give that
Yeah,
to?
essentially, Jonathan used to do it, so,
Okay.
Idalis, who's now in that position, is the one that would do it.
Okay, got it. All right, cool.
And if you guys, usually you guys don't give us like set parameters. I mean, you guys did for Main Street Live, so it's really up to you guys, like how many miles out you wanna go, the
Mhm.
demographic and all that, like you
Mhm.
can provide that to us.
got it. A question, do you have suggestions on that, on how we should utilize that? We have 2 months, we have almost 2 months, we have like 7 weeks of a marketing campaign.
I have a couple of those.
Mhm.
One of them is, I really would love to see, because I think last year a lot of people like miss it, and I think was very productive. So we can do either a live stream or a video, so then we can promote it and kind of thing. So I think it will be a good material to have for the city, for the town, for everybody, so they can see it, so we can record it. Obviously on the marketing strategy type of thing, not just the parameters and everything, but we have to season the campaigns, meaning that between 2 to 3 weeks is it's going to at least start to taking off, right? We were lucky that times we got a lot of hits, but it was mainly because most of the people, it was the same people that we always see, right? So we already know that we're gonna have 40 to 50 people, which is the people that we always see.
Yeah,
How
our
we
goal
get-
is to get 80, so that we have at least
Exactly.
30 new. Yeah.
Exactly, so that's what we have to figure it out, which or, you know, how can we promote it, so that way we get it all the way like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said the new Jonathan, her name is?
Idalis.
Idalis. Would Idalis, like, is Carlos allowed to work with Idalis?
Yeah,
to-
I know we were gonna set up a meeting with you and them, but I mean, that's fine, we can. I
Okay.
would say one of you, because
Yeah,
now
that-
we're under the sunshine thing,
Yeah.
but so whoever wanted to be, I'm
Okay,
happy to schedule a meeting between you guys if you
Okay.
wanna speak directly.
perfect. So let's put that on the minutes, George, that, Carlos, Matthew, and I'll just say Carlos and Idalis will connect, so work with Isle
Yeah.
to schedule a meeting with Idalis so that you guys can connect on the use of the marketing dollars specifically for the boot camp. So I agree. I think the live stream was something that we talked about, that from the feedback that we got back. Also, the social posting during the event. So now that we have, so I'm just curious because I've never run one. A marketing campaign, right, over a course of about 7 weeks in dollars, más o menos, like.
It depends on how much we want to, like how broad
Mhm.
we want it, right?
Okay.
So let's say, I didn't hear it's like 2,000 something
Mhm.
dollars. We have to first see how much it will cost a live video and everything like that. So let's say $500, right?
Mhm.
So we have any other materials and say with $1,000, I think is pretty good to invest.
Okay,
Maybe he, knows more about me, but if in any event that we do, we spend between $1,500 to $2,000.
okay,
But in here, we have a lot more emails and things like that that we throw it like in the Eventbrite
Yeah.
and the people that connected through each other and the Chamber of Commerce. So I'd say that with an 1,000 to 1,500 should be okay to fit more another 40 people.
okay, so that was my next question, so we said around 1,500.
Which I think we should not, and I have one more question regarding that. We always say, okay, let's spend the $1,500.
Mhm.
And I always say that to the marketing team.
Mhm.
And I always see that it's always a little less, like 1,200, 1,300 and stuff like that. But when we have had these meetings, we say 1,000, but we don't know if the whole 1,000 got really spent.
Mhm.
We don't get those reports. Can we get them now and then get those so that way we can utilize better our budget?
Kyle?
I'm sorry, I was typing something.
No problem. So what I was saying is that we usually say, okay, let's invest $1,000 in a campaign, right?
Okay.
And you guys said, okay, we're gonna spend $1,000. Most of the times when I do that with my marketing team, we say, okay, well, let's do for this event 1,500, right? I always spend a little less, like 1,200, 1,300 and stuff like that, right? Depends on how he's, doing it. It's never the exact number. Only is the exact number when I'm not doing too good and I had to spend it, and then I say don't spend more, right? So in here we say $1,000, but it kind of goes away, but we don't know if we spend 800, 600, or if we spend it all. So how can we get reports so that way we utilize it? The market says, okay, we budgeted that, but we actually spend it this much.
Yeah, no, we can definitely provide reports based on what the market, I think that that's just the feature where you download the analytics for it.
Correct.
We can
Yes.
provide that to you guys, if that's
Okay.
what you need.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think in all the times that we spend those monies like that, we should last them so to see we have some money back from what we have approved to spend. That way we can utilize it better.
Cool.
I think
So-
we gave you guys a last analytics for something that you requested.
Remember off the top of my head,
Oh.
but I'm gonna house all the different
Okay.
documents. I'll look through the
All right.
different minutes in there. But I don't know. Do you guys remember that or no?
No,
No?
we never talk about it like that.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever looked
Usually-
at it
I think we
together.
always get the local intel traffic reports. Yeah, I know that was
Oh.
one thing. But I don't know if, I don't really
I don't-
remember.
I don't
if
think
there's-
any-
Maybe.
I'll double check. and
Yeah,
I'll share
whatever.
with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, if you have it, I'll. definitely-
But the
Yeah.
point is that, yeah, that's not a problem at all. We
Okay.
can definitely pull it and share it.
The other thing was, okay, so let's assume that we spend out of the 2,000, or maybe it's 2,500, we need to definitely.
Well, the whole
clarify that.
marketing line item is like 4,000 something. Like, that's like.
And is
the
that,
whole-
is that still unused for,
Yeah,
until,
that's-
now
that's
till
this
September?
year. Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
wow,
that's for
okay.
this year.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Yes,
Yeah, we're just.
we're here,
Wrapping up.
yeah, we're here until
Yeah,
6:30.
But I'll be with you anyways for 6:30, so I'll still be here. Felicia, yeah. So we'll be around. We do too. I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay, so the other point is, can we use a portion of that marketing budget for at the boot camp to hire a social media person for that day? What's her name? Vanessa, Victoria? Vanessa,
The one that we
Vanessa,
have it?
right? Vanessa.
Yes.
I would like to invest whatever her fee is. It's just a matter of a couple of hours. So that we have someone dedicated, that's not one of us, because we're always running
Yeah.
around like crazy, running the event. I would like to invest some dollars into somebody dedicated for that day to document, live post, like do all the things that we didn't get to do last year. Live stream, post, and I don't.
Pictures, all of
Pictures,
that.
all of that.
So we get.
So that we don't
content.
have to have that volunteer base either from one of us or to force Tico to do it because he does 15 million things. So I want to make sure that it gets done well. And I think we have the budget to do it this year.
One more thing of that
Mhm.
regarding that and the part of marketing.
Mhm.
Usually what is the most complicated part is, when we have a first event is getting all the content, because then if you have to copy, because usually a single ad, like just a paper ad type of thing, doesn't work as well as if they have kind of a small snapshots of the
Mhm.
event.
Right,
Like when you give the presentation and you say something very important,
right,
learn about those
right.
people, and you have a little video that we can promote a lot more that event. I think that could work very well. But
Cool. Well, that'll be for next year, because we don't
Yes.
have that from last year.
Mhm.
Real quick too, I forgot, because you guys were the two that weren't here at the last EDC meeting.
Okay.
So the update with that 2,500, right? So we got that. And then what we were debating is what we wanted to use that for, right? So I know that now we're talking about using some of it, but just to like clue us all in the last meeting, we talked a lot about the options of, because now that we have, it's like 4,000 whatever total, but using that 3,000 to maybe do that Main Street Live again after the summer, like, before the fiscal year ends, that was one option. We kind of threw away, or not threw away, but we kind of looked away from the option of getting the town to do like a small campaign. Because we talked about what you mentioned at the last meeting, Carlos, remember with the
Yeah.
big budget. So we kind of figured it's kind of pointless to do a small campaign, like, because
okay,
it's too little, like what you were saying. Like if we're gonna really push the needle, we might as well just do a small event like Main Street Live or something.
correct.
So we just kind of figured whatever, like,
Okay.
we won't do it for that end. But then we were trying to figure out other options. So just so you know.
Okay.
So when we go to the next
But-
EC meeting,
but-
that's partially what we're gonna talk about.
I am a little confused on something.
Yeah,
The 4,500 that you're saying that we
that's the
still have,
marketing line, yeah.
but but is the whole marketing for all the events that we
Yes,
do?
it's all
not-
marketing
Let's remember, there's only like
until
2 months
September,
left.
right, until
Yes.
September.
But I know that we had a line item specific for this event.
We
Yeah,
can
this
just
still
do
has
$1,000.
2,000, exactly.
Okay.
So I think we can afford her either way,
Yes,
especially
with
if
the-
we're gonna do it at town hall, there's no, right?
Correct, and
There's
it's
no
just-
fee to use town hall, right?
And this
So,
one
yeah.
is only one day.
Correct, I don't know
Yeah.
what Vanessa's fee is, but I can't imagine it would be
No.
more than like $500 or something
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I just
Yeah.
wanna like keep
Yeah.
a note, so we have like, I guess, a sort of budget within the budget
Yes.
to see if maybe we can play around with one more Main Street Live, because Felicia just reminded me
Yeah.
that we might be doing that.
Okay.
It's up to us, we still gotta
Okay.
vote on it, it was just
Okay.
put out
Okay.
there.
All right, so got it, so then we'll use, so I would say probably the $2,000 that we have, with our budget. If we don't count on anything from the other amount. So if the other marketing budget that belongs to EDC is 4,000 and change.
Yeah.
Let's just assume we have zero access to that because whatever, Main Street Live eats all of it, etc. We have $2,000 in our budget. I'm gonna say a rough estimate for Vanessa on that day is maybe 500. Okay, so.
Yes, but yes.
So let's just say 500 for Vanessa, that leaves us with 1,500 for marketing.
Yeah.
I think it would be fair to, it would be fair to say we would use almost the whole 1,500 in marketing over 2 months, so then that depletes the budget down to zero. We would have
No, I
zero,
think you're fine
yeah,
to tap into the market.
we would have
Fine,
zero,
it's totally
we would have
fine.
zero for giveaways or anything like that, I think.
Yeah,
if
but
we-
I don't think you need to do it that way.
I think if we can maybe
Main Street
take,
Live is gonna cost 5,000.
okay, well, okay, so we have like 4,000.
That's why I'm asking her to
left in
get
that
me
line.
the real number, because I'm
That would be great.
telling you the wrong number.
I
but
think if
it's-
we can
It's
take,
over 4,500.
I think, oh, great, I think if we can take 500, maybe 1,000
No,
tops
yeah,
from
yeah,
that,
that's
that would be
fine.
great,
Yeah,
okay.
that's totally, you, I think we could easily take like 1,500 from that and still
Nice,
be
okay,
okay.
that'd be
you
great,
know? That's
okay.
why I think we're fine.
Sweet, alright, so I think
Number.
we're good on, so
Yeah.
just to have a preliminary budget, just so that we have something to cover for line item C. We're looking at $500 to outsource social media. Then we're looking at roughly $500 in giveaways, that would include swag bags, the gift cards that we usually do at the happy hour, etc., okay?
And I'll bring one to the next meeting. I still have one. I kept one with all the stuff.
Oh,
just
nice.
in case.
Smart.
So we can.
And also a couple, and in the $500 giveaway, I would also throw in their giveaway and printing, because for example, we had those printed agendas that I thought were really
Oh.
good, and the flyers, those things were nice. So printed materials, so giveaways and printed materials. And that, so that's down to 1,000, then we're gonna do 1,500 in ad spend,
Thank you.
and like marketing and ad spend.
It's 4422, by the way, is what we have there. 4,400. 2,500.
Correct, so we're at, we're at 2,500.
Yeah. So let's say there's 4,400 in there. So let's say, you can take out 1,400 totally fine. We'd have 3,000 left over for the.
For Main Street Life,
if you
okay,
wanna do that.
let's just call it 1,000, so we have 400 as cushion.
Okay.
So then we basically have $1,000 left to do whatever we wanted to. That's food, that's the happy hour, which by the way, it's chelas, because if it's here at town hall, tiene que ser chelas.
Yeah.
So that'll be, money towards chelas for appetizers and some drink tickets.
Okay.
I mean, I think realistically, $1,000 is probably all going to chelas, because of what we need for consumption
Chelas.
chelas is gonna be the happy hour venue.
I think it makes the most sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can just walk straight there. It makes.
Right, I mean, it's convenient and everybody loves it, chelas is great, so. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd do chelas every year, I just, wanted to spice things up a bit, but. Okay, perfect. Okay, so $1,000 will be the happy hour,
Total of 3,500,
correct,
which would be 2,000 from the event and another 15 from marketing.
exactly.
Yeah, we just have to be smart with how we say it. So like
Yep.
the marketing would come.
Yeah,
from-
so like, for example, the happy hour and the giveaways would come from the 2,000 that we have here. And we can even, the outsourced social media marketing person would come from within our internal budget for the for the small business boot camp. And then it's 1,500 coming from the
budget.
the marketing budget, exactly, yep,
Cool. Yeah, and that gives us
Beautiful.
enough to play around with if we want to do that last Main Street if we want.
excellent.
Because it's not exactly 3K, it's a little less. like
Okay.
you were saying, so we're.
Sweet. Okay, so that's our preliminary budget. So just to wrap things up, task delegation. So Carlos, you're touching base with señor
Yes.
Alex, right? And letting me know. I'm gonna touch base with Alan Gonzalez and Denise regarding the speaking opportunities here. What else? Can we officially reserve town hall or did we already do that?
I have a reserved.
We're good, perfect. So I guess, I'll also reach out to Alex Crosby, Melissa Alton. I'll basically be in charge of finalizing the speakers and collecting their headshots and titles, and then I'll get all of that over to you, Isle.
Okay.
Hopefully, God willing, by July 25th, so we stick to this, timeline. And I'll also get you the collateral that Jonathan did last year on the agenda and the program. I have no problem if we reuse it again. That's totally fine. The only thing that we won't have on that collateral is everybody who donated and this and that, we had their logos on there. So I mean, I guess we can design it for the sponsors. I
Yeah.
guess we can design it for now. We can always add logos
Yeah.
as needed, right?
That's fine.
So that's the one thing.
So are you guys gonna send it to Frank? 'Cause I think last year, did you guys have AC graphics?
I think we just printed some, right?
I think technically, I think you were in charge of it. I don't know how we build it. If
It's
AC Graphics
definitely-
build it to the
It was
town.
definitely an outside job because it was
Yeah.
really nice. It
Yeah.
wasn't like.
It's not terrible.
It
Well,
was.
you can bill it, we have the money to pay you. Yeah,
If that's the case, then I need.
yes, can you be in charge of the giveaways? Yes, same guy. Yeah, he was great. Okay, so Matthew will do
But then we
giveaways.
do need to, I guess, give him a little more time, right, for this, just to get to the logos and stuff then.
Well, I guess, but when it comes to the giveaways.
Well,
we should just-
so I'm just saying, printing doesn't have to be done by July 31st. We
No,
don't have to
no,
print it till
no.
September, so we
No,
can
yeah.
address printing like at the next,
Yeah, oh, we can
subcommittee meeting.
help out, I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. So then,
Yeah, I'm fine
I'm
with
just
that.
thinking out loud, like, if you guys will design it and then
Yeah.
just leave the open space for the logos and we'll add logos as we acquire
Yeah,
sponsors.
We can do that, we do that
Yeah.
all the time, that's
One,
Perfect.
one very important thing, if we're going to do the campaigns,
Mhm,
right, with the sponsors in them,
mhm.
we need to finalize the logos, because every time that
Yeah.
we change it, the
Yeah.
algorithm thing, and then we have to start it over again.
really?
Yeah, so.
Then I think, I mean, let's talk about who we know the sponsors are. So Town of Miami Lakes,
Yeah.
EDC,
Those go on there.
Chullas,
And
and all of these speakers, whatever their companies are, will have their logos on there. Do we get anything from the chamber? I mean, I know, like, they didn't donate anything last year. I don't think they're noted as a title sponsor.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because they really don't
No, we just
donate
do the-
anything. Yeah.
So we just-
Right. The only other thing that would be missing from here as sponsors are the people that give us giveaways, the gift
Yeah.
cards.
And like the breakfast.
No,
sponsors
like-
And the
and
breakfast
stuff.
sponsor.
But the gift cards, we bought it with our budget.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
Maybe so that we get their logo on there, do you think the chamber would maybe sponsor breakfast for this event?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to Ray about it. Tomorrow's our luncheon.
Or if not the chamber, maybe First Origin or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know Ray, I think he's.
Right, yeah,
he loves
I think he's down.
sponsoring stuff.
So yeah,
Okay.
if either the chamber or First Origin,
Send him a text, I'll tell you right now.
yeah. I'm gonna put chamber, oh, I'm sure we can get BNI to sponsor something, chamber or First Origin.
For the
I'm-
swag bags, do you buy the stuff from the businesses or you want the businesses to donate it?
The swag bags last year,
You just
we-
provided some general stuff and we gave them the opportunity to throw stuff in, but I don't think.
they
anybody
didn't,
brought
they
it.
didn't give anything, so the like, we bought like, you know, nothing like crazy,
It was like
like,
little-
like the pen,
Yeah,
the
like
notebooks and
notepad,
whatnot.
pens,
Yeah.
and like one other little thing
Right.
goes in there.
I mean, if you guys wanna like donate a fun sticker or
Well,
something,
that's what,
yeah.
yeah, if would I could have my logo if I donate.
Yeah,
for-
yeah, we could throw them in all
We
the
will
bags and
accept
give them
you
out.
as
3%.
a sponsor right now, yay,
Yeah.
thank you,
Any swag you need to.
we love swag, so
I
yeah,
have
we
Miami
did,
Lake stuff.
we did like 100 swag bags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
So-
was. Then we had little cows and.
Right, do we
some of
still
them-
have,
A good chunk of.
do we still have cows,
I'll
Kyle?
check for you guys
Please.
on that.
Yeah, we have been a good chunk because
Yeah.
the cows are.
Our hot commodity.
Yeah.
Cows are hot.
They really are.
Okay, so the Trellis Cottage already, so I will reach out to you to get your logo, thank you. And I'm sure BNI, we can get BNI to sponsor something, maybe drinks at Cello's or something like that, so BNI Miami Lakes will sponsor something, so we'll get the logo. Perfect. Okay, cool, so for next meeting, before we adjourn, what do we need to address? We'll address marketing. We'll do the, we'll go over the marketing collateral. We'll do a run of show. And we'll go through sponsors. Sponsors and budget. So Matt, you're asking Chamber / First Origin to sponsor breakfast. I will also.
How much are we thinking for the breakfast usually?
I would say that we need to feed 80 is what we're shooting for this year.
Okay.
And you know, continental breakfast, right? So we did, you know, like bagels, pastelitos, juice. Last year, we also did something creative where we took the breakfast sponsor money and we gave it to Chef Victoria
That's right.
to just do her thing.
That's right.
That didn't work out too bad for us. That was actually pretty cool.
And we also.
The
got
problem- the-
was there too.
Days. Yeah,
The-
yes, I-
Acai also, I don't know if you're
Yeah,
cool with him and you wanna reach out to him again.
Yeah.
The only issue with doing that again is we have a much more limited space this time.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we're in the front of town hall.
Yeah.
So we don't have the space for her to sprawl out
Yeah, I
like
was
last
gonna
time.
mention, because you guys do it during business hours, I'll have to double check, I don't know how it was last time, but I don't know that you guys can use the outside.
So we can't, the only thing that the first year we did it here, we did have a table register.
Okay,
They did allow us to have a table to register.
Okay.
Now, we didn't ask if we could have another table with something else. So I
you
don't
guys
know.
not have any?
No, the food and the coffee was in the. back.
The
The
first time
town
we did it, it was very minimal. It was literally
But it
like
was,
Mickey
like,
Bakery.
inside
It was
council.
inside
Yeah.
council chamber and it was on against the back wall.
Because you have people that come in for services, so I don't know, like usually when it's outside of business hours, you guys,
Do whatever.
committees use all the space.
If
outside.
you-
What if we did this room for breakfast? Could we put breakfast in this room
What
I
I'm,
can ask.
and just have people come down the hall?
what I'm thinking
ask.
too is like, you know, when you are coming to the chambers, the door that you use always being used is the door that is close to the receptionist, right? But the other door, nobody can use it.
Oh,
If we
that's-
can, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you know, it's like a good space so we can put like a U-turn thing.
Tell me the business hours for you, to close up an entrance exit
Fire.
for them.
Okay,
Eat what you can.
Okay.
okay. All right, so let's assume,
But I will check.
so
even
I'll,
make conference
if you
rooms
can confirm,
or-
we can book this room as a breakfast room for that day.
Okay.
And then we'll just have a registration table and then the registration people can direct people here for breakfast. Okay, Matt, you're finding, you're confirming a breakfast sponsor.
We're gonna, the goodie bags and the breakfast sponsors.
Perfect.
Also, just, I don't know, and I don't know what is there because I don't remember. One time that we hosted an event here, we did it, I think it's an elevator there. Right there,
Yeah.
on that thing we did. I don't know,
I'll ask, as I know, normally you guys, the committees use the entire space,
Right,
but normally when we have stuff there,
It's
it's
after
because it's
hours.
outside of business.
okay,
But I'll ask.
Okay, just so I know,
If-
it's not that I will probably not, but I know that always the chairmans go to the back. Is there a back room?
Okay, I know what you mean.
I don't know.
The little.
Oh, but they
kitchenette,
get water and
the
stuff.
kitchenette.
Yes, I don't know what is there, but I don't
It's
know.
super tight, but
Okay.
wait, I'll find out for you guys what we can do.
Okay.
Okay, and then, Carlos, can you talk to Vanessa and see if
Yes.
she's available for that day and what her rate would be? So we would need her
I'm
from
gonna try
like,
to get this for the $500. This is what I'm trying to get. for
oh, sorry,
This.
okay,
So
including
I'll try-
services.
The arts for the event and probably video for the event to promote, like the arts itself,
Like she'll create like
like the art
collages
going
and
to
stuff?
promote.
Cool, okay, like promotional art, okay,
Promotional art, promotional video to film that event and live stream it for whatever source we're going to do and to take the content for the day.
for the day.
Yes.
And that would be from like 9 to, let's say, like 1. She doesn't have to stay for the whole happy
Correct.
hour.
Okay, I will tell her because she's gonna go to Chelas and then she can take contact from Chelas too. So to
Okay,
take the
sorry.
contact for all of those, I'm
Okay,
gonna try to book that for her for $500.
that's a good deal for $500, La Pobre. I feel like we're exploiting
Well,
her.
Let's see if she.
Let's see, let's see,
she
let's
always
negotiate, let's negotiate.
I think we'll be able to do it. She
Okay.
always collaborate.
Tell her that I'm helping her out. Tell her.
Yes.
All right, cool. Okay, guys, I think we've got a lot covered. Thank you guys so much. We are adjourned at 6:35. Oh, sorry. And yes, next subcommittee meeting date. Do we want to come back together first week of August?
One more question
See.
before we do that. Regarding talking to the marketing specialists that have in the town and stuff like that,
Mhm.
how can I know when?
Email aisle.
I just put you in an email loop with them.
Okay.
There we go.
So, so
Okay.
that they can confirm their availability.
Okay, perfect.
Are you able to tell us if August 5th is available? That's a Tuesday. That's the first Tuesday of August. Is everybody in town? Are you still with that?
I'm not part of the committee anyway.
You are now.
It is available from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
5, not 5:30. Are you guys cool with that?
Unless it's a 30-minute.
We have an EDC chair meeting there at 6 that day.
That's why, yeah. There's a.
So I guess-
Marathon,
That's
marathon.
what I'm doing today.
Why not?
I'm going to the next one after this.
I think I'm actually good on it.
We're good? Okay, so let's do that. So we're gonna set the next committee meeting date for August 5th
What chair meeting do I have there? Is that
at
like
5
the
p.m.
one in town hall where it's all the chairs?
That's on the other
Oh.
things.
Yes, sir.
That's a quarterly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we are adjourned